Berserk 1997, episode 23. This is a pretty nutty episode, keeping the same tone as the last one. Continuing on, we get to see the Band of the Hawks who now have Griffith being chased by the Knights, which they end up taking him out. At the same time, we get to find out that Griffith is never going to be the same. It makes it feel as if the Band of the Hawks are doomed without having their leader. So it's kind of like them figuring out what their next chapter is, and a lot of the Band of Hawks actually want to go with Guts wherever he is to go off too. In a very similar light, it's just like how people want to cling on to Griffith's dreams. So in a way, is it like at this point, somehow Guts has become like a Griffith following his own dream? Either way, it shows the character growth of Guts. On top of that, Casca's kind of thinking her decision. Originally it seemed like Guts wants to bring along Casca, but what we have goes on is that she tries to change the bandages on Griffith, and he starts doing that thing where he's all frightened, and it like starts making her cry, and she's like outside of the caravan, and this is where Guts comes over and sees her crying and stuff, and is like, what's going on? What's wrong? That point pretty much makes the decision that she doesn't want to go with Guts. Rather, she wants to stay, and Guts wants to actually stay with her as well, but she insists on Guts following his dream. With Casca crying and stuff, this is where Guts wants to check on Griffith to see what's going on. And while that is all happening, this is when we have this like crazy dream sequence kind of go off. He sees his like older self, and then he's like pointing towards this like castle. Then his younger self comes out and he's like following a pathway trying to play. And this is where we get to see Griffith that is like all hurt and stuff, can't do anything, somehow take this courage and ride it downhill. Everyone is like, what the heck is going on? Then we have Guts like chasing it down, and it turns into another crazy dream sequence where we get to see Griffith and Casca in the future alternatively, where they're essentially a like couple and that their son is actually Guts, which is just insane. So during that future flashback, what actually happens is Griffith falls out of the courage into this river. His mind finally comes back, he gets up, and we get to see Griffith kind of like gnaw himself against this rock. He starts bleeding, and he like reaches down into the river to find his belt. As Griffith is holding it, he remembers this thing about giving it flesh and blood. It seems he doesn't quite understand it, and you have Guts and others trying to make their way down this hill to go and get to Griffith. This is where we get to see a crazy sequence where there's like all of these crazy demon looking monster zombie things, and then all at once to end the episode, this world like has this like belt open its like eyeball or whatever, and like Guts is like holding him, and Griffith is like, don't touch me. But there's like a bunch of faces, and it's like a plateau of faces all over. It's like this demon dimension. It's just like nothing I've ever seen. Okay, that was a pretty bad sequence, but it's really one of the most insane things I've seen in an anime, and you know something bad is gonna happen just based off the dimensions look. With all that, I rate this episode a 9.6, simply because it is memorable, it feels classical, it's just great. I want to know what you guys' thoughts are on Berserk 1997, episode 23. Hope you guys stay safe, and until next time, peace out, guys.